And now it's 7 o'clock. Now it's time for the second game recap of the night for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. This one is the Phantoms also playing against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. In case you missed it, I recapped a game against this same team that took place on March 23rd, and this was their most recent home game before this one. And they would be meeting again on April 7th, but unfortunately I was not at that game. But the Phantoms set franchise records that night, and they scored 10 goals, making a Phantoms big win 10-6. And now we're gonna go over to this game. At first, we're gonna do these starting lineups. For the Phantoms, on defense was Phil Myers and Philip Samuelson. Forwards were Tyrell Goulburn and Nick Aube-Kubel. Center was Brian Fries, and goaltender was Alex Lyon. These pretty much were the same lineups from March 23rd, except Phil Myers is on the lineup. When they played against the same team on March 23rd, Mark Freeman was the other defenseman, but he was scratched. Or maybe it was on the Flyers. But now, we're gonna go over to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Their starting lineups. On defense, they had Kalen Addison and Chris Summers. Forwards were Sam Miltek and Ryan Haggerty, and their center was Sam Lafferty, and their goaltender was Tristan Jarry. And now, this took place at PPL Center, like always, and the attendance was 8,435. Let me do some math here. This is 7 less than their last meetup on March 23rd, which had an attendance of 8,442. The game started at 7:16, 2 minutes before they started their other matchup on March 23rd, which started at 7:18, and it ended at 9:44. It was a 2-hour and 28-minute game. And the officials. The referees were Mike Dietrich and Michael Duco, and the linesmen were Tom Delafranco and Tom George. Here is the play-by-play map. And here are the goalies. We have a few shots. And then, 7 minutes and 35 seconds into the first period, Tyrell Goulburn scores for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms to give them a 1-0 lead. Remember, for their last meetup, Wilkes-Barre Scranton scored first, but a few seconds after that, the Phantoms decided to take that lead, tie it up. And this goal is Goulburn's 9th for the season. It was assisted by James DeHaas and Brian Fries. And later, 15 minutes and 47 seconds into the first period, the Phantoms go on a penalty kill. Zach Palmquist gets a roughing penalty. And then Tristan Jarry just to concentrate a little bit, so he got out of the net for a while. And then later, 16 minutes and 1 second into the first period, Cole Bardreau scores. Cole Bardreau scored a goal around the same time, but in the second period. But this time, Bardreau's goal, this is the 6th of the season, it was unassisted, and it was short-handed. And then, Wilkes-Barre Scranton scores to bring that score 2-1. It was 2-0, now it's 2-1 after that Wilkes-Barre Scranton goal. It was scored by Ryan Haggerty, who actually scored the overtime winner on March 23rd, and it was assisted by Sam Lafferty and Sam Miltek. It was a power play goal. And this, move on into the second period. 36 seconds into the second period, a fight takes place between Nick Aube-Kubel and Sam Lafferty. They both get a 5-minute major for fighting. And then, later after that, 44 seconds after Adam Johnson makes a shot, James DeHaas gets a penalty for hooking to put the Phantoms onto yet another penalty kill. And then, 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the second period, Phantoms score again. Second goal of the night for Cole Bardreau. It was assisted by Carson Torinsky. This was the game-winning goal to bring the Phantoms to a 3-2 lead. The goal was shorthanded, and as you can see, it was the game-winning goal. Here's a few shots. And then, 11 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period, Carson Torinsky gets 2 minutes for interference. And then here's a few shots. And this goes into the third period. And then, 9 minutes and 12 seconds into the third period, Byron Freese scores to bring his second goal in a matchup between these two teams. He scored a goal of under 6 minutes and 8 seconds into the third period when they played against each other on March 23rd, of which I recalled an hour ago. This is Freese's 20th of the season. It was assisted by Philip Samuelson and Nick Aube-Kubel. As you can see, this was considered an insurance goal. And then later, Wilkes-Barre Scranton scores to bring the score to 4-2, 14 minutes and 22 seconds into the third period. And this goal was scored by Brandon Hawkins. It was assisted by Chris Summers and Joseph Blandisi. And that wraps up the game. Phantoms win. And this is the head-to-head matchup. Here were their previous meetings, including their meeting on March 23rd. The top scores here. Last 5 games. Final score. Here's the scoring summary. Shots on goal. Here are the power play opportunities, penalty minutes, points, scoring summary, penalty summary. The 3 stars. All 3 stars went from the Phantoms. Third star went to Alex Lyon for making 33 saves on 35 shots. It was in the net for all 60 minutes of this game. Byron Freese gets the second star of the game for scoring 1 goal and 1 assist. And the first star went to Cole Bardreau for scoring 2 short-handed goals. And that will be about it. And the next video is going to be a meeting against the Phantoms and the Hartford Wolfpack. And I forgot to tell you, this is American Hockey League game number 1090. I started the video with the game number from March 23rd, but I forgot to tell you this was game number 1090. So I'll remember that when I do this next game against the Hartford Wolfpack at 8 o'clock. So I will see you then.